All right, so you're here because, like us, you just can't get enough of that India-New Zealand match, right? I mean, even when it's not a knockout game, the energy was insane.
Yeah, you could cut the tension with a knife.
New Zealand probably thought they were in for a chill warm-up before the semifinals.
Oh, yeah, definitely strolling in.
But India, they had a different script in mind.
And one particular bowler, let me tell you, turned up the heat.
We're going deep on this one today. The dead rubber, that was anything but.
That's the thing, isn't it? Technically, it didn't affect who was moving on in the tournament.
Both teams already had their spots locked in.
But the way they played, you'd never have guessed it was a meaningless match.
Not even close. Intensity was through the roof, especially from India after that, well, shaky start.
It was rough, wasn't it? 3 wickets down for only 30 runs. Oof.
Yeah, big names back in the pavilion before we even settled in. Gill, Sharma, Kohli, all gone.
Like watching dominoes fall, you kind of held your breath waiting for the next one to go.
Then boom, the comeback kids arrive. Iyer and Patel, talk about a turnaround.
So steady under pressure. That partnership, it was like the eye of the storm, everything swirling around them.
And they just locked in, focused on rebuilding.
Iyer, 79 runs, you could just see the calm in his eyes. Never panicked.
Textbook, right. And Patel right there with him, 42 runs, solid support.
Flipped the whole momentum on its head.
And then Pandya enters the scene.
Oh yeah, with his signature flair. 45 runs off the bat, so quick.
Boosted him up to 249. Not giant score, but...
But it set the stage for India's spinners to take over, and that's where things got really interesting.
Talk about a debut. Varun Chakravarthy wasn't even supposed to be there.
Late replacement, steps onto the field, second ODI ever, and bam, 5 wickets for 42 runs.
5. Unbelievable, right? I mean, the pressure of that moment.
New Zealand's batsmen, they had no clue what hit them.
Leg spin. So tricky. All about deception.
Wickets dropping left and right. Like, what was that analogy from the notes?
Faster than a biscuit dunked in chai.
Perfect. That's exactly what it felt like. Total freefall.
Williamson put up a good fight, though. 81 runs, he was the only one who seemed to have a handle on things.
For the while there, yeah. But even he couldn't hold off the inevitable. And then that moment, oh man, pure relief for India.
Patel gets Williamson stumped. You could practically hear the entire nation sigh.
Game over. India wins by 44 runs, top spot in Group A secured. But this was bigger than just group standings, you know?
Way bigger. A statement win. New Zealand, they've been a thorn in India's side at these tournaments before. Not this time.
Makes you wonder if we're seeing a shift in the power dynamics, doesn't it?
I think so. But we'll dive into all that after a quick break. Stay with us, folks.
It really does, doesn't it? I mean, New Zealand, they're known for their strategy, outsmarting their opponents.
Right, like they've got this whole finesse thing going on.
Exactly. But this time, India just flipped the script, especially when it came to exploiting,
that weakness against spin bowling.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't just about winning. It was how they won. You know what I mean? It felt different. Like India really leveled up their game.
So let's look ahead now to the semifinals. It's India versus Australia. And then we've got New Zealand going up against South Africa.
2 massive matchups.
Nail-biters, for sure. But, I got to ask, does this win, does it give India that extra edge? Like, mentally, are they riding a waves right now?
Oh, momentum is huge in any sport. And for India, yeah, I think their confidence must be through the roof, especially the spinners, right?
Right.
Australia, on the other hand, they'll be studying this match, looking for any way to counter that spin threat. Because if they don't...
it could be a tough road to the final.
For sure. And, we keep talking about India and their spin success, but what about New Zealand? This match, it kind of exposed a vulnerability, didn't it?
Big time.
I mean, if they couldn't handle India's spinners, what happens when they face South Africa?
They've got some serious spin power in their lineup.
Maybe even more formidable than India's, some would say. So what's New Zealand going to do? It's a real head-scratcher.
Maybe rethink that batting order. Bring in some players who can handle the spin a bit better.
Yeah, something's got to change. Because in the semifinals, the pressure's a whole other beast. Every mistake, it's magnified.
Okay, so for our listeners out there, the ones glued to this tournament.
Yeah, what's the big takeaway from all this?
What should they be watching for as we head into these semifinals?
Well, I think the main thing is India. They're serious contenders now. No doubt. They've got it all. Resilience, batting depth, and, that bowling attack.
And it's not just about individual talent anymore, right? They're really playing as a team.
A cohesive unit, which makes them even more dangerous.
So what about New Zealand? Where do they go from here?
Back to the drawing board. They need to figure out this spin problem, and fast. Because if they don't, well, the semifinals.
Yeah, could be a short trip.
Exactly. And, that's what makes tournament cricket so exciting. The stakes, the narratives, the pressure. You see teams evolve right before your eyes.
It's like a chess match, but it plays out over weeks.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And this Champions Trophy, I mean, we haven't even hit the knockouts yet, and it's already been incredible.
We've had some amazing moments.
But I have a feeling the best is yet to come.
Totally agree. But, we've been focused on India winning, New Zealand struggling. But what if this match, this dead rubber, what if it's actually a sign of something much bigger happening in cricket?
I like where you're going with this.
Like, think about it. We're seeing these new stars emerge, right? The old guard is being challenged. The balance of power is shifting.
You're right. It's like a changing of the guard, this new era where it's not just about raw talent anymore.
It's about who can adapt, who can handle the pressure and think outside the box.
And who's got the mental strength to go the distance.
It's like cricket is reflecting what's happening in the world,
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's a time of disruption. The old ways, they're not working anymore.
You gotta be ready for anything.
And in cricket, we're seeing that on the field. The gameplay's more dynamic, the roles are blurring, and the mental game, it's crucial now.
It's not just about hitting the ball anymore.
Absolutely. It's about outsmarting your opponent.
This match, it sparked a conversation that goes way beyond just, who won and who lost.
It's about the future of the game itself.
How's it evolving? Where's it headed?
Big questions.
So, before we get to our final thoughts, let's take a moment to just, gather our thoughts.
Yeah, a little pause for the cause.
We'll be right back to wrap up this deep dive. Stick with us.
All right, we're back. And, after that pause, I'm even more convinced. This India-New Zealand match, it wasn't just a game.
Oh, absolutely not.
We've talked about India's win, yeah, and how New Zealand really struggled against that spin attack.
Yeah.
But it feels like we're just scratching the surface of something bigger here. I think so, too. It's easy to get caught up in, the excitement of each match.
Right, the wins, the losses, who's moving on.
Yeah, exactly. But zoom out a bit, and it's like...
We're watching cricket evolve in real time.
Yeah, this Champions Trophy, it's more than just a tournament.
It's a glimpse into the future of the game. New strategies, new players making their mark.
It's a whole new level of mental toughness out there.
And you know what really struck me? The role of spin bowling. It wasn't just... Chakravarthy having a magical day.
No, not at all.
India, they used spin strategically.
Almost like setting a trap.
They saw that weakness in New Zealand's game and boom, they pounced. Makes you wonder, are we heading into this new era where spin bowling is king again?
It's definitely possible. Think about the conditions, right? So many pitches, so many places where spin just thrives.
And it's not just the teams you'd expect either. Even India, known for their pace, they're embracing spin now.
It's almost like what do you call it?
Like a full circle moment.
Yeah. Cricket, it's always been about finding that balance. Bat and ball, pace, and spin.
And right now, it feels like the pendulum's swinging back towards spin.
It's a reminder that this game, it never sits still. Always changing, always evolving.
And the teams that can adapt, master both sides of the game.
Those are the ones who'll be on top.
So for everyone listening, all the cricket fans out there hanging on every ball,
what's the one thing they should take away from this? What do they need to watch for as this tournament keeps going?
I'd say pay attention to the details. Don't just look at the scoreboard. Look deeper.
The little shifts in strategy, the new trends emerging.
The players who are pushing the boundaries.
See, sometimes a match, even one that's called a dead rubber, it can be a window into the future.
It shows you what's changing, the forces that are shaping the game we love.
And remember, cricket, just like life, it's full of surprises.
Embrace the unexpected, challenge those old assumptions, and who knows, you might just discover something amazing. Sometimes, cricket is more fun with a little spice, wouldn't you say? Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep diving deep,